Alright, so in this video I'm going to discuss the critical importance of debanking in 2024 moving forward. Now, in the traditional sense, debanking was when the banks kicked you out, but the tide has turned. In 2024, it's time that you kick out some of the banks from your portfolio. Now, what is debanking? Debanking is you're trying to eliminate your bank accounts. Now, what was the purpose of a bank account? There were two main reasons that you looked at a bank account. One was the ease of use, meaning you have your capital. It was easy to put the money in, take the money out. It's your money, right? So it should be easy to operate. So that's the first reason. The second reason was the safety. So your money should be safe. Or you and only you should have access to your money. No one should be able to steal it legally or illegally, right? And both these two are being compromised in several countries. A lot of countries are bringing in drastic and draconian capital control measures, right? Random rule changes, overnight rule changes in a lot of cases, which is creating chaos and panic. Now, having a bank account, keeping your money was a basic necessity, and you had some authority or control over your own bank account, and that's being defeated. A lot of these politicians making these changes are corrupt politicians. I'm not saying all, but some are corrupt politicians. So they're bringing in account freezes, and this is happening across several countries. I'm not singling out a particular country, but a lot of countries are undergoing this transition. As a result, then the banks sometimes act smart with you, right? It's your money, you have legit source of funds, but they're still harassing you over a certain threshold. So that is causing a lot of hardships and difficulties in operating your own account, obtaining your own balances, moving your balances for whatever you need. And that is where I think moving forward, the strategy should be to move away from some of your bank accounts, debanking, and moving your funds or moving your monies into smart assets. Now, what are some of the examples? And there's several. There are a ton of smart assets that you can look at. Some common examples are things like gold, silver, other precious metals. And I'll try to avoid diamonds and precious stones if you don't know what you're doing. So those are something you could avoid, but simple basic assets that you can diversify under. But the reason why smart assets are important is because with bank accounts, with let's say vehicles, your automobiles, they all need to be registered, and all these governments and entities are all going to want you to register everything under your name, so it's traceable, it's trackable. They can ask you questions, and it makes life a mess, a hassle. And some people are happy doing this, some people aren't comfortable, right? They want a more free life, they want more freedom, they don't want the hassle, they just don't want to deal with all this nonsense. And especially if you're an expat, if you're moving around the world, then I think exceedingly you want to have more freedom. So when you are invested in smart assets, let's say it doesn't require any bureaucratic process, there's no registration, and we're talking legal stuff, okay? Whatever you're doing here should be done legally. That's where, when I say smart assets, it's classified as something that is easy to purchase, easy to sell. There's less bureaucracy involved. There's no registration requirement or anything. But something like gold is a legit legal investment. Doesn't need to be registered. It could be with you. You could be in possession. You can store it in security. So there's several companies that provide you with security if you don't want to take care of your own assets. And you ideally want to locate all of these assets legally across multiple jurisdictions. So yes, you have your residencies, yes, you have your bank accounts, but on top of that, rather than falling in that old school trap and getting stuck, getting your funds stuck in some of crazy jurisdictions, I think what you could look at is storing your smart assets conveniently across multiple jurisdictions. It could be a business with a lot of inventory. A lot of your inventory is easy to purchase, easy to liquidate. And if you are interested in having a strategy discussion, obviously there's a ton of different asset classes, and all that I'm talking about here is completely legal stuff. But again, a personal strategy is a personal strategy. Something that makes sense in a certain jurisdiction does not make sense in another jurisdiction. So it's very important to have a private discussion, discuss what is your situation and how you can diversify your assets moving forward. Anytime you want to have that discussion, you can click the link in the description, book a call with us, and make sure to turn on the bell notification and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any important updates, hacks, tips, tricks, and a lot more. All right, I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, make sure you're subbed, and catch you in the next one.